Welcome, everybody. Captain Matt with Boat Buyer's Secret Weapon, and I want to talk today about ways to guarantee that you'll hate boating. I listened to a podcast the other day on how to guarantee that you're going to have a screwed up life, and I thought that might be a fun way to approach this. So we're going to say, hey, you want to go into boating and make sure that it means break out another 1,000. Make sure that the best day of your life is the day that you buy it and sell it. Make sure that you can say a boat, it's a hole in the water you throw money into. And this is how to guarantee to make those sayings come true. So let's jump in. The number one, when you decide to buy a boat, don't think anything about budget. Just go ahead and buy whatever you want. No worries about the finances. No worries about the cost of ownership. That will all take care of itself. Go ahead and just buy the biggest, baddest, most expensive boat that you want, because it's really not going to impact the enjoyment that you have in your long-term boating lifestyle. The next thing, as you're considering buying a boat, don't pay any attention to where you're going to be boating, who you're going to be boating with, how you're going to be boating, why you want to get into the boating lifestyle, and just go ahead and just jump in. Don't think about it. Don't plan out what your lifestyle is going to look like. Don't ask the questions that we talk through in the Boat Buyer's Toolkit. Just go ahead and just find the prettiest, the nicest boat that just you see it, and that's the one you get. No thinking about practicality, no thinking about where you're going to store it, no thinking about how much is it going to cost to operate, no thinking about will it suit the needs that you have. Just buy the one that strikes your fancy. Buy the boat that the type of boat you grew up on, regardless if you were in freshwater and now you're in saltwater, or you were in saltwater now you're in freshwater, or you were doing water sports and now you're into fishing, or your kids are into fishing, or whatever. Don't pay any attention to that. Just go out and buy the one that catches your eye, the one that looks awesome. That's the boat that you need to have. Next, along those same lines, is buy the boat that your friend tells you to get. Even if he's a single guy that loves speed and you've got a family of 6 with kids that want to get out and do water sports, it doesn't matter. If your buddy says, if you're going to get a boat, this is the boat to get, throw everything out the window and assume that they are 100% right and go with what they recommend with no other thought, no other planning for, is your boating lifestyle similar to what theirs is? Are your desires or your goals in boating similar to what theirs is? No. Hey, he's a good friend. I like him. He knows boats, and that's what I'm going to get. Not going to listen to anything else. That's what they say. The next, this one gets me all the time. I see it on social media, is if you're buying a new boat, don't worry about the customer experience. Only buy the boat at the very, very lowest price, even if it means driving 500 or 1,000 miles away, and then complain. Make sure you do this part. Make sure you complain when that dealer won't do your warranty work in a timely manner, because they're handling the customers that actually bought their boat from them. Get all upset because you can do it with your Honda, you can do it with your Ford F-150, you can do it with your Mercedes. Get all mad that you went and bought the boat to save an extra $200. You went 500 miles away, and now that local dealer is not giving you great customer service. That is a great way to ensure that you just hate boating, and that you're just annoyed and frustrated all the time. Only think about price. The lowest price, no matter what. Don't think about quality. If you've got two 22-foot boats with the same power, buy the cheapest one for sure. On the used side, buy the cheapest boat for sure. Don't worry about, hey, maybe it's got more options, maybe it's been better maintained. Just get the one with the lowest price. That's going to guarantee that you can complain on social media about how awful boating is. Yeah, man, let me tell you my story about how crappy I got screwed over when with my situation. That make sure that you only look at that price. The next, don't take advantage of any valuable resources like the over 170 videos on the fantastic Boat Buyer Secret Weapon YouTube channel, and the articles and the tools and the resources at boatbuyersecretweapon.com. Hey, I don't know anything. I'm trying to rip you off. I've got some scam. I give you a free toolkit, free access to a boat expo, and then I offer you a very low price product after you take advantage of that if you want additional help. Hey, don't take advantage of the free stuff because I'm going to try to make some money. I'm going to try to make maybe even up to $77 from you to help make sure that you make a good decision. So whatever you do, if you're buying a boat, if you're a first-time boat buyer, don't watch any of the videos. Don't take advantage of the free resources at US Boat Expo or boatbuyersecretweapon.com. Avoid that at all costs. It is not going to help you like it has over the 1 million plus views that we have and the over 10,000 subscribers. Also, make sure when you're ready to buy your boat, don't pay any attention to the motor. Only look at how does it look? Is the gel coat shiny? Is the upholstery in good shape? Pay no attention to the motor because those are easy fixes. You get a new outboard, a new 300 outboard for $25,000 plus labor to put it in. You can get a 50 horse for a little as $8,000. No big deal. Yeah, if you got a stern drive, not a problem. You don't need to look at that because it's just a car engine, right? A car engine that's been marinized. You can get that new engine for 10, 11, 12 grand, a new lower unit for 8, 9 grand. So don't worry about inspecting that motor and paying any attention to the mechanical aspects of that boat because, hey, it's probably going to be fine and it's not that big a deal. Boats very, very seldom aren't maintained well and have mechanical issues. So you don't need to worry about that. Just look at the cosmetics and just make sure the boat looks sweet. Make sure you're getting a good deal. Next, and again, if you haven't watched any of the videos on this channel, you'll know to avoid the sea trial. You don't need to go out and take that boat on the water and test drive it to make sure it handles the way that you want to make sure that the motor runs the way it needs to make sure it's got the right power, to make sure nothing breaks or sounds weird, to make sure it cranks up smoothly. Don't worry about any of that. Hey, it's in the middle of, it's such a pain to get that seller to agree to take that boat on the water and they're putting up a fuss about it. Don't worry. I'm sure they're honest. I'm sure it's going to be okay. I'm sure it's not going to come back to bite you in the butt. Don't worry about it. You can skip that sea trial. You can skip that on-water drive test. It's not a big deal. It's not important at all. It's just a waste of time. And certainly if you find some red flags, if you do a boat history report at boathistoryreport.com, if you see something leaking, some fluid leaking, if you hear some weird noises when you crank it up on the hose, because you're certainly not going to take it out on the water for a full sea trial, just overlook it. It's not a big deal. If you feel a little bit of softness in that floor when you're checking it out, hey, don't worry about that. If you get a weird email that says just wire me the funds, and you don't even need to see the boat. One that I heard the other day is I'm an active military personnel in the Coast Guard, I think they were, and here's how we're going to do it. Yeah, you can't see the boat right now, but it's in great shape. But we can lock it in with just a small amount, and then we'll set up all of that information. And I had a subscriber emailing me, and he was actually sending me the full emails from this lady that was in the military, and it was fantastic. He had some military experience, and he caught on to some really odd comments about the military and the rank and things. So don't worry about those red flags. Just send them the money. I'm sure it's going to work out. I'm sure the boat's in great condition. I'm sure it's been titled properly, and there's nothing to worry about on the paperwork and the serial numbers. There's no scams out there, so you don't need to be on the lookout for that. And then when you do get your boat, when you finally buy it, hey, it's kind of like your car. You change the oil every now and again, and you don't need to worry. Just keep putting gas in it, and it's fine. You know, if you do have a repair, go ahead and put a car alternator in a stern drive. It's not going to spark and potentially blow up the whole boat. There's no danger by using car parts or having things that really don't work the way they should in the marine environment, but it'll save you a few bucks. Go ahead and do that. Don't worry about changing your impeller. Hey, you've heard stories on social media, somebody in some post that they got 7 years out of their impeller. Why would you need to change it every year or two? Theirs lasted for 10 years. Why would you want to change a $20 part, something that you can do yourself, something that if you have a dealer, it might cost you $150, $200, and they can even bundle it in with other services, your annual service even. Don't worry about that. Save that little bit of money because it's going to save you money over the long haul too. There's no reason to do the required maintenance or the recommended maintenance. And for God's sakes, don't spend the extra couple of bucks to get non-ethanol, that wreck fuel that's 100% straight gasoline. Don't worry about it. You're not going to have any of the ethanol issues that other people have issues with. It's going to be different in your shape. Save the money. Don't worry about the doing it the right way. Just save a little bit of money. It's going to be okay. And finally, if you are going to save some money and do the work yourself, don't get the manual for your boat, for your engine. It's not going to be helpful at all. And certainly don't watch two of, in my opinion, the best channels for service. If you're looking to do something to your boat, these channels are the worst for showing you how to do it the right way and giving you really in-depth, clear tutorials almost on how to do things. Born Again Boating, Dagner Marine with Dagner Snoo. Don't watch any of their videos. You'll hate it. They're awful in their presentation, and it's not going to help you at all. No, whatever you do, don't subscribe to their channels. You're better off just figuring it out by yourself, and there certainly won't be any bad things that come with it. And of course, when you've got your boat, don't take an extra 10 minutes, for crying out loud. Whatever you do, don't take an extra 10 minutes and cover your boat. It's such a pain in the butt. You got to put the poles on. You got to get those snaps. And God forbid you have a pontoon and you have to deal with that big old playpen cover. Don't worry. It's not that big a deal to let your boat sit out in the rain and the elements and the sun for days and weeks and months at a time. Just, hey, it'll be fine. Don't spend that extra time, that extra effort. It's so hard. It's so hard to put a cover on. They're heavy. They're usually dusty and dirty, and they're so big and bulky and hard to maneuver around. Don't worry about it. Just sometimes the snaps don't. You really got to stretch them out, and they shrink up over time. And sometimes they just leave it off. You'll be okay. It's not a big deal. And then if you're a first-time boat owner and you find your boat, you get out there. Whatever you do, don't take the time to learn how to boat properly, learn how to maintain your boat properly, learn how to trailer and back it down the ramp properly. Certainly don't worry about the safety things like running your blower for 3 to 5 minutes before you go. It's probably not going to blow up. Doing things like making sure that you have a fire extinguisher on board, life vests, that you know how to tie your boat up, that you know how to operate around the dock, and in slow water situations, you know the rules of the road. You don't take a boating safety course. Don't hire somebody to go out on your boat and train you how to run it properly, or do an online training program that teaches you how to be a competent boat operator and actually learn how to run your boat and control your boat, maneuver your boat. Don't do any of that stuff. Just get the keys the first day, load up the cooler with your beer and your liquor and your drinks and your kids and all your friends, put as many people on as you can that first day, and just go out and raise hell and go fast, and just you'll figure it out. It's easy. Think of all the dumb friends you have that are boaters. You don't need to plan. You don't need to research. You don't need to learn. You don't need to take it slow. Just jump right in. And go out there on the 4th of July weekend if you can. Our Memorial Day is just as good. Go out there on that busy weekend for the first time. Just give her hell, and you'll be great. And I promise you, you do all of that, and within a year, you're gonna say, "Oh, break out another 1,000." I guarantee you're gonna say, "Oh, a boat? The best day is the day you buy it and the day you sell it. I can't wait to get rid of this thing. It's nothing but headaches and problems, and it's breaking down, and my props dinged up, and the dealer's terrible, and oh my gosh, it's so expensive. It's just a hole in the water you throw money into." I promise you, if you follow all the recommendations here, you're going to be able to say all those things. You're going to be able to tell all your people on social media and all your friends about how expensive and bad and difficult and terrible boating is. So there you go. If you did not enjoy this, don't subscribe to the channel. Don't watch any of the videos. Don't check out the US Boat Expo or grab the toolkit or any of the free things. And remember, life is not better on a boat. Life is better complaining about boating and how terrible it is because you don't follow the basic steps to make sure you have a great time.